It means that they never want to deal with the reality. Okay, they never want to approach a real person. Rather than they want darkness, they want the shadowness. Okay, so he says that they are dealing with my shadow. The second stanza is, there was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts. He is saying that in the good old days, they used to shake their hands with their hearts. Means they used to pour, they used to shower the love from the bottom of their heart. But that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hands search my empty pockets. Okay. Now they don't shake their hand with their hearts. Okay, without hearts they are shaking their hands. Okay, when they shake hands with their right hand and their left hand search for my empty pocket, because they check whether I'm rich or poor. Okay, in case I'm poor, they break my friendship or my relationship. And the third stanza, feel at home, come again, they say, and when I come again and I
Excuse
feel
me,
at
ma'am.
home once. Yes.
Ma'am, you had finished explaining the poem, ma'am, in the last class.
All the six stanzas are over.
Yes, ma'am, you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
completed.
Okay, that's nice then. Actually, I'm confused with
Okay.
your classes. Were the question answers remaining?
Yes, ma'am. Question
Yes,
answers
ma'am.
will be.
Okay, let's deal with the question answer. Thanks for informing me. But I sense that I have completed three stanzas, I guess, for you. Because I maintain a diary, there I have written. Are you sure?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, do you have textbooks with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, open the question answers part from your textbook. Just a second. Okay, the first question is, what is the theme of the poem? What is the theme of the poem? Themes are how society changes, a cultural shift, and capitalism and the values. See, the main theme of the poem is how society changes. The society never remained the same, in the post-independence or in the pre-independence. Okay, in the pre-independence, there was humbleness, there was mercy, there was a friendly brotherlyhood relation among everyone. But after that, gradually, the society people they adapted with the foreign culture, and the society been changing. Okay, and cultural shift. Okay, earlier they used to laugh with their heart, they used to smile with their heart, they used to shake hands with you with their hearts. Okay, and now the things are very different. Okay, they laugh only with their teeth, and when they shake hands with you, they search for empty pocket. And even the poet is also learned the same thing to do. Second question, what happens to the poet when he visits someone home for the third time? Doors are shut on him on his third visit to the someone's home. Okay, so doors are closed on his third visit to the someone's home. Third question, are you following? Are you following it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Third question, how does the poet compare his face with dresses? Poet explains he wears many faces as per the situations. His behavior changes according to the situations. He wears office face, host face, street face, cocktail face, because he wants to deal with all the varieties of people. Okay, there are multiple varieties of people. In the office, we have some reserved people. At home, there is a real face. Okay, and host, when somebody comes to your home and you don't really initially you don't like them, but you are forced to act like the in such a way that you love them very much. So that is what host face. And street face, if you meet someone on the street, there is a one common question, how are you, what are you doing? So such question should be, or interaction should be there. So here he changes, okay, according to the situation. Poet explains he wears many faces as per the situations. His behavior changes according to the situation. He wears office face, host face, street face, and cocktail face. Fourth question: what does the poet mean when he says goodbye? Okay, see, uh, instead of saying good riddance, poet says goodbye because he initially doesn't want to say goodbye. He was annoyed by their meeting, but in order to present himself as he is good, he is forced to say goodbye. I would like to ask you a simple question. What is the meaning of good riddance? Here I have written. Can you say it? The spelling good riddance. Don't search in Google. I have explained many a time when I was explaining the stanza.
Forcibly, ma'am.
Huh? Yes, may I get the answer?
Being free of
Forcibly.
unwanted person.
Okay, being free from the unwanted people or unwanted thing. For example, I will, if I ask you, how was the class after the class? So actually, you did not like the class. You have to say the class was worst. But as being a teacher is asking for you, you are forced to say that it is good, whereas you really wanted to say that the class was not good, but because of some condition, because of some forceful action, you are forced to say that the class was good, because you have to present yourself that you are very casual, you are very formal and obedient to teacher. So instead of telling the reality, you are saying it is good. In the same way, the poet or the narrator, he was much irritated. He was annoyed by their meetings. And for that, instead of saying good riddance, he says goodbye. Are you understanding it? Have you understood it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Be loud. Fifth question: what pleasantries does the poet use to fake cardiality? Okay, cardiality means cardial relations, means hridaya sambandhi. Okay, so like if you talk, see there are some fake people. When you talk with someone, though they never work or they never do any help or favor for you, they talk in such a way that immediately they will do something for you. They are ready to give their life. Okay, so here what pleasantry does the poet use to fake cardiality? So, what kind of a fake or artificial words that he uses to present himself that he is cardially very close with somebody, means he is very close with somebody. Okay, so pleasantries means some pleasing words. Okay, some wonderful pleasing words. So he says goodbye, though he is annoyed with their meeting. Okay, see he uses some smooth words, okay, some pleasing words to present himself that he is good, gentleman and casual and formal. So he says that goodbye, though he is annoyed with their meeting. Annoyed means very irritating. Okay, so though he is annoyed or irritated with their meetings, he says that goodbye. Okay, he says glad to meet you, nice to talking to you, though he doesn't like to talk with them. Okay, though he doesn't like their talks, their meetings, their presence, their visit, but he says that it's glad to meet you, it's nice to talking to you. Okay, so shall I go with the sixth question?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
there all? Shall I go with the sixth question?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
See, don't try to write down the answers. I will share the PPT into the group. I thought that I have not completed the full course for you on the first poet, so I did not share. Okay. So soon after the class, I do share. What does he want to unlearn and relearn? Poet wants to unlearn all the muting things and relearn how to laugh from the bottom of his heart. So muting thing means, the things like artificial smiling. Okay, and instead of saying good riddance, he says goodbye. And even though he's annoyed, he says that nice to talking to you and nice, it's glad to meet you. So he poet wants to unlearn all the muting things and relearn how to laugh from the bottom of his heart. Seventh question: how is the poet's laugh reflected in the mirror? See, when he laughs into the, when he laughs in the mirror, he gets a weird reflection. So what kind of a reflection it is? Because when he was laughing, his laugh, okay, or his smile, it is not filled with innocence quality, or it is not from the bottom of his heart, okay. So it feels him, it senses him like a poison of a snake, okay, like a poison of a snake. It is as danger as a snake, okay. So if there is a false smile, okay, if it is a false smile, it is as danger as a snake. It is reflected in the mirror as like a poison of snake. Eighth question. What does the poet long for? Poet wants to learn how to laugh from the bottom of heart. He wants to regain the lost culture. Actually, the next slides are not being uploaded. I will go with the manual code. So here, poet wants to learn how to laugh from the bottom of heart. He wants to regain the lost culture, okay, and the lost legacy of the nation. Ninth question, it is very simple question. Who is the person addressing in the poem? Who is the person addressing? May I get the answer from you? The question is very simple. Look at the ninth question. Who is the person addressing? Yes, may I get the answers from you?
Parent is addressing his young son.
Yes? Be little loud.
Parent is addressing his young son.
Very good. Parent is addressing to his young son. Who is the, okay, 10th question. What does he hope to learn from his son? He hopes to learn from his son, that is, how to laugh from the bottom of his heart. Okay? How to laugh from the heart and how to shake hands from the heart. 11th question. What does he mean by wanting to unlearn all these muting things? What does he mean that he, okay, what does he mean by wanting to unlearn all these muting things? As I have told you that muting things are artificial things. Like instead of saying good riddance, he says goodbye. So, though he is annoyed by their talkings and meetings, instead, okay, he says that it was glad to meet you, or he says that it was nice talking to you, and he searches for the empty pockets, okay, though it seems that they were shaking hands with them. So these are all what muting things, the artificial things of self, okay. So the poet wants to mute those all things. He wants to unlearn all these things. Why? Because those are all artificials, okay, those are all not innocence. And the 12th question, why do you think the poet has given the title Once Upon a Time? See, Once Upon a Time, it is an interesting title to the poem because, you know, uh, once upon a time in Kannada, we usually say that Vandanondu Kaladalli. Okay. So here we cannot go back to the Vandanondu Kala or once upon a time or the centuries ago or years ago. He cannot go to the pre-independence of Nigerian days and bring back the lost history. So here it presents that once upon a time, going back to the once upon a time is impossible. Okay, so once upon a time is impossible. He cannot go back to the centuries ago's days, and he cannot bring back the lost glorified history or the culture of the nation. So he keeps the title Once Upon a Time. And the 13th question is, what is the relationship between the narrator and the listener? It is a parent and son. We don't know whether exactly it is a father or mother. So instead of taking the word father or mother, you say it is a parent and a son. Okay. So explain the following statements with the reference to their context. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. Okay. So you have to say, you know very well, pretty well. In the last classes of the last semesters, I have explained you how to write the extracts. Okay. So the Above given lines or the sentences have been extracted from the famous poem that is Once Upon a Time, which is written by one of the Nigerian famous poets, that is Gabriel Okara. Okay, so later you have to explain the lines there. Okay, so a writer or the poet, he is much worried about the lost culture and the lost history of the Nigerian nation, and he wanted to regain it. He is telling his son that you are the future generation or the future of our nation. So the lost culture, what was there, it should be continued by you. Okay, you, how innocent you are today, the innocence quality in your life should be continued till the death of your life. Okay, so here, once upon a time, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. So here, the poet says that how the people were earlier, and he has a goodwill and good hope for his son. He should continue this glory. The second is, now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hands search my empty pockets. Okay, here again the same thing should be written, that the first paragraph is common for all the questions, that here the poem, that is once upon the lines, the above given lines have been extracted from the famous poem Once Upon a Time, which is written by Nigerian poet Gabriel Okara. Okay, when he explains about, and he expresses his heartfelt burst gratitude regarding the present culture of the society's people. They say that they shake their hands with their no with the, without hearts, and their left hand search for my empty pocket, because they check whether I'm rich or not. If I'm rich, they respect me, otherwise they kick us. Okay, the third is feel at home, come again. Okay, here again the first paragraph is same, and later he explains, they make us to feel comfortable in their house. It is for the namesake. Okay, and they say that once twice they welcome me, but when I go for the thrice, they shut their door on me. Okay, the fourth question, so I have learned my things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses. So here, how sadistically the poet has forcibly, okay, constrainedly, he has changed himself from being innocent to from being artificial. Okay, so as per the society's change, as per the conditions of the society, the poet has changed himself from being innocent to being very artificial in all his actings and all his characters. And the fifth question is, I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. So he says that initially I was not as like the society's people. I was as innocent as you, okay, as like you. But the society's condition, it constrained means it has forced me to change myself. Okay, it has changed. So while saying these sentences, he says that I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. And regarding this lengthy answers, critically analyze the poem Once Upon a Time. And the second is explain the impact of the westernization expressed in the poem Once Upon a Time. The third question, examine the concern of Okara's towards changing the African culture. I have written here, I have given here the summary. Just a second, I will show you. Okay, so 2 pages of summaries are there. You can go through it, and after by evening I will share the whole PPT with you. Do you have any doubts in the poem? Tomorrow I will start a new poem. It's a very interesting and a beautiful old speech from English language. Yes, may I get any questions from you? I'm asking you. Aishwarya, do you have any doubt? You have raised your hand. Roll number 105.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Does anyone have any doubts regarding the class? May I know the answer? If If I don't get any response from you, what should I feel? Yes, if you have any doubts, any questions, please ask. You still have some time. Have you all understood the poem?